Colorado Buffaloes jump back into game week against Arizona, and this game, whoever wins, is going to have, at least for 1 week, sole possession of first place in the Pac-12 South.
Yeah, it's huge. 5 weeks in, or 5 games in, the Buffs could be first place. They are first place now, but these are not the two teams I guess people would have expected at the midpoint of the season to be fighting for first place in the Pac-12 South, but that's the Pac-12 this year.
And both these teams have a brutal stretch in terms of their schedule the rest of the way. I know Arizona gets Oregon State at home, but that's why it's so important for both these teams if they want to get bowl eligible this year. Just a lot riding on this game for both these teams.
There is, and for Colorado especially. I mean, next week you go to Oregon, and after that you go to Washington State, and so those are two places that I know they won their last trip to Oregon, but this is a different Oregon team. Pullman, we've talked about it before, has been kind of a house of horrors for this team. So not saying that they're not going to or they can't win those two games, but that puts a premium on this one, knowing those two tough road games coming up.
Arizona was without Khalil Tate and J.J. Taylor. They're running back against UCLA. They still find a way to win that game. Not a great performance against one of the worst teams in the conference, though. So I don't know how much confidence that really gives you that Arizona is a really tough opponent.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much confidence on the outside, but I've got to think it gives Arizona confidence and makes them a little more dangerous when they can win a game that. In their eyes, they faced a UCLA team that just scored 50 points in 19 minutes and beat a ranked team on the road, and they went out and shut them down and did it with their freshman quarterback, who actually looked pretty good. So I would imagine Arizona's got some confidence. They've won 3 in a row, and they're playing good football and they're actually playing defense. They've held their last 2 opponents to 17 or less. I looked it up. I think the last time they did that was 2008. Or 2013, it was one of those two, but it's been a while. So they don't usually play good defense, but they've done that 2 weeks in a row.
You mentioned Grant Gunnell, their freshman quarterback, a different type of quarterback than what Khalil Tate is. He's got a hamstring injury. We don't know at this point what his status is for this game. If you're a CU fan, you probably prefer the freshman, right?
Yeah, I would think so, although he threw the ball pretty well the other day. I talked to Davion Taylor today and asked about the difference, and he said certainly with the freshman that he's more of a passing threat than Khalil. Not that Khalil's not. Buff fans know last year Khalil can throw the ball, but Davion's point was that hey, you don't worry about the run as much with this freshman as you do with Khalil, so they've got to be more on point there. But one of those weeks they come up every now and then. You just have to prepare for 2 quarterbacks. That makes it tough for CU.
And this is the place where Khalil Tate had his breakout performance and one of the more unbelievable stretches of football late in that season 2 years ago. Last year was not the same quarterback, dealt with an ankle injury. This year, kind of hit or miss. Other teams have kind of figured him out a little bit, but still, he's so dangerous. With Colorado, Laviska Shenault, Mustafa Johnson, we hear today, are going to be game-time decisions. Not surprising at all. Coach Tucker did mention that Chris Miller's further behind. I would be pretty surprised if he plays in this game, Chris Miller.
Yeah, I would be too. I'm not sure how much I believe Tucker that those 2 other guys are game-time decisions. They probably have an idea, but for us, I'm not surprised they would tell us they're game-time decisions. You hope they play, obviously. Things. We don't really know what's wrong with Laviska, and Mustafa, you're hoping that the week off last week can really help that ankle. But the Buffs could be down a couple of guys. Arizona could be down a couple of guys, so it could be interesting.
What's your gut feeling on both those guys? I have a feeling we might see both of them.
Yeah, I have a feeling that we'd see Laviska. I'd be more confident in seeing him than Mustafa, maybe, just because, man, that's a tough. You went back and watched that play, and that's a tough injury on that ankle or knee or whatever. I know they said ankle at the game. That's all we've heard. I assume that's what it is, but sometimes those high ankle sprains can linger for a long time. So, I guess I would lean more towards, if I had to pick one that we're going to see, it'd be Laviska. What do you think?
I probably agree with you, and frankly, I think both of them are going to end up playing. How's it going, Mark? Mark Perry, you had a chance to talk to today. He saw his first action against Arizona State. I still think it would be smart if they can limit him to 4 games this year. But he's got a bright future here.
He does, and he actually said it would be smart if they limited him to 4 games. Which
is refreshing for a true freshman to have that perspective, honestly.
It's funny because he said things you would expect. I mean, I asked him about not playing the first 3 games, and he said, yeah, that was really hard mentally, but he goes, I wasn't ready. And I said, did you feel ready against ASU? He goes, yeah, I felt ready. But I asked him about redshirting. I said, is there a plan for you? He said, nobody's really talked about a plan, but He goes, if I could go through this whole year and play the 4 games or less, I think that'd be good for me.
It seems like he's probably going to be their guy at star for the next 4 years. Because he's pretty talented.
He is pretty talented, and that's where he's practicing right now. And they got Davion right there, obviously, and Davion's playing some pretty good football. So, but Mark Perry, they love him. I mean, one of the more highly touted guys in this class. So I expect, whether we see him a whole lot this year or not, I think he's going to be a good player down the road.
All right, we'll be back later in the week with more analysis breaking down Arizona.